Good morning. How is everyone today? Trying a slightly different setup. We'll see how it goes. Probably a short stream. I'm gonna continue playing with Bevy. Got a little bit of a download going on, so hopefully that doesn't. Oh, it finished. I was gonna say hopefully that doesn't interrupt the stream. That appears to be done. Let me get rid of the little text there. There we go. Where are we going? We're going not into Lambda. I was working on Lambda. Lambda is an interesting alternative to the Lambda crate. It's not prescriptive for runtime, etc. Let's use whatever HTTP client you want. We're going into control. Control. Okay. I just did an update to 1.49. I have tmux already going. Nope. Oh, sorry, I am in tmux. Wow. Happy Friday, everyone. I wanted to look at some of the input stuff and how go to the next one and how plugins work. So let's take a peek at some default plugin. This one seems to have a set of plugins. Oh, it's got to finish indexing. All right. So we have default plugins. We have a plugin group. Neat. That's a bunch of different things. Reflect, core, transform, input. I want to look at input. And add events. And these, what are these events? Let's see. It's just a struct. So this is it's a component. It can be used as a component. What does this want? Sensing and static. All right. That's neat. resource. Key codes. So events are interesting. I do wish there was a little bit more documentation. The event appears to be a resource. It's an event type T. Add system to stage. What sort of system are we adding? And remember, this is ECS, so Entity Component System. So when they say system, that's what they're talking about. Resources tend to be things that are just generally available in the ECS. So you could have a, I don't like to call it a singleton, but that's one way to think about it. You're adding that sort of idea to the ECS, so you can request it later from one of your systems. Oh, interesting. I wonder if there's a reason that they have these in a certain order. Because they go through add event, init resource, add system to stage. So here they're adding a system, initializing resource again, another system, event, number of resources. Why don't they do the resources all together? Are they clustered by mouse versus keyboard? No. Huh. I don't know why they are the way they are.
Hi. Hi.
All right, there we go. But yeah, it's pretty good at removing background noise. My daughter was helping me test some of the noise cancellation. All right. Well, that's interesting. I think I just ended up with more questions than answers. I moved from Godot to Bevy. Different projects, actually. Legacy is still using Godot, and I wanted to see what was going on with Bevy. There are some neat ideas in Bevy. I like the fact that it's like completely data-driven. I think that's a neat thing. I don't know if I like it yet, but it's a fun idea. And yes, they essentially are game engines, so they do the same thing. Of course, Godot has had a lot more shelf life than Bevy has, so it's much more full-featured, much more. So here, let's see if we can show an example. Data-driven means, in Bevy's case, when we say it's data-driven, that means that things inside of the ECS show up inside of the viewport. So we have this keypad, going to find the beginning of this here. Okay, so what we end up doing here is we load a mesh, create some colors. These colors are resources. So even the resources are part of the entity component system, or it appears to be the case. And here we go. So we end up spawning an element here, and these elements are parts of the ECS. So they have transforms, they have model data, they have mesh data. I guess that is mesh and model data, basically the same thing. They have material data. And depending on what is inside of the entity component system, the engine will then render it. So you set up the camera, you toss a bunch of things inside of the ECS, and then rendering happens. So it's rendering in that sense. It's data driven in that sense. You interact with the engine through the ECS. So in this case, we end up creating a transform, and then we have a button, which then has a transform, and we spawn it. And when you spawn things here, you're basically adding elements to the ECS. So this button here is a bundle. So it's a component of type button, and this button has 3 entities, has a ID, a transform, and a global transform. And then Bevy extends that a little bit with the idea of components having children. So that child can then have other components that are children of it. And I think that means that Bevy is then using the transforms on those in a hierarchy. So if you transform the root of the hierarchy, everything on the trunk, the branch, the leaf nodes gets transformed as well. So let's see if we can hook up some input handling. I think we're going to need a system for that. I created a bunch of plugins. They're all empty at the moment, except for the keyboard one. Voice plugin, game plugin, menu plugin. Yeah, those all make sense. I don't really have an input. They have systems, which are just functions. They have no return type. Essentially like that. So we could add a system. Like so. So we're taking this function reference and calling this trait function. So they have this into system trait, and that trait here is basically pounded out for a bunch of functions. Big macro there. Like we can have 10, no, 1, 2, bunch of those. All right, so let's fill in the system and listen to input events to make sure it's still working. Cargo. Not this one. Got a bunch of unused variables. Did OBS pick up the right scene? Okay, it did. So these are the buttons, the keypad buttons that were rendered. All right, now I want to be able to click on those and have things happen in the game. So how do we get the input? Ooh, what's new in Firefox? Oh, where is it? What, the local doc? I haven't updated Bevy today. What did they add? A64 requirements, grammar fixes. All right, let's see. High DPI text, that sounds pretty cool. That is really cool. All right, let's keep going. You can see this is where I had last updated. Let's see, did anything break? Oops, not that. All right, let's get this piece set up. CD read chat. Oops. Gotta spell that right. There. Okay. That's taking its time. The nice thing about it is that it compiles so fast in its iterative mode. All right. There it goes. I wonder why more projects don't use that sort of quick build setup that they have going. Where basically they have some sort of they have a shim that builds a shared object, and they just link against that instead. If you have that feature flag set up. Okay, so everything's still working. It's good. Don't have any text. Now we're gonna go look here, Bevy. Input. Probably gonna be looking to have something that maps a number of different elements to events. So we have touch, mouse, keyboard. We don't have. All right. Guessing this is based on the type. Something becomes just pressed. Kind of like the stuff in Godot where they have a global input thing. This one looks like it gives you the ability to press things though. So you can provide input from something else. Alright, let's go look at mouse, because that's what I'm using right now. That'll be easy to test. Mouse button input. I wonder if they have a mouse capture mode. That could be fun too. Right, mouse button. Because yeah, if we did have a captured mouse, then we could basically play this. We could touch. We could even make it accessible. So there are a couple of games that I really like. I'm not disabled, but I have some friends that are. And it would be really cool to be able to make a game that they could play. So many mobile games are just junk when it comes to accessibility. That could be really neat. Alright, so mouse button input system. Calls for an update. Now what is this doing? I don't understand what update does. We might need to look at that. State. Look at this name, mouse button input event reader. Sounds like something I would have made. Can we have this happen more than once? What if we had two systems that needed to track input events? So it looks like if we register the system, they will feed into this resource for us. Is that part of the generics? Assuming the default stuff? I remember seeing that there. It's in the default plugin again. Vivi input plugin default. Mouse button input system. Okay, so they've already done that. Keyboard input system, gamepad event system. They've wired everything up. Touchscreen. So if those components are already registered, then we just need a loop to be able to see whether or not those are pressed, which is a system in this case. So here's our input loop. Now we have to know how to query these elements. I don't know how to do that yet. Okay. Perhaps we look at one of their examples for this. Probably any of them. Let's go look at input. Mouse input and mouse input events. So we ask for a resource. It's an input of type mouse button. Seems fairly straightforward. Just have to know how to look for these in the docs. All right, now what is it going to give us for this type of input? Are we going to have to track the mouse location ourselves? Got mouse move elements? And how do you hide the mouse cursor if we did want to do that? Mouse button input bug when captured. Add system, capture mouse system. Ah, I see. It's interesting that they run this all the time. From what I understand, systems get run constantly. Oh, I see. So they're actually changing the visibility of the cursor. I got it. So they just turn the cursor visibility off and lock mode on. That's interesting. Okay, so there is this capability. That's neat. Alright, back to the code. If y'all have questions or just want to say hi, please do. No, it's been a while since I've streamed. December was fairly quiet for me. A lot going on. That and it ended up in a decent vacation, so. Ended up watching, what was that? Love and Monsters on Amazon. That was fun. It's not free, but it's an early release, I think. It was cute. It was really cute. Oh, I'm trying to resize a window. Give me a moment. There we go. Oh, much better. Okay. Let's get our little system working. We're going to look for mouse button. Alright, so if we have that, just want to see what we have. Stump that out. We should be able to see when we click what this input thing has on it. Actually, we could click over here. I feel like I'm doing JavaScript, goodness. So pressed, and just released. Does not look like this is going to give us location information. Alright, well, regardless, let's try it out. Give it a run. Oh, did I save in there? Ah. Yeah, that's my fault. I saved inside of Bevy instead of saving out here, so I recompiled Bevy. Or rechecked Bevy, I guess. There it is. Oh. So that's going constantly. Okay, stop that, go back. Yeah, so it's going to tell me that I did press something, but it doesn't tell me anything about that. Maybe this is just display. Let's go figure out if there's anything extra on that. Not there, not there. Here, input, mouse button. No, okay. We have mouse motion, so we have to keep track of this ourselves. Exciting. So if we wanted to have a cursor in this, we would have to create a cursor. Interesting that we can't use that. How do some of these other ones work? Let's say touch. Touch input. A new start event with a unique identifier for the finger is generated. So touch events give us position. Only available on iOS 9 Plus and Windows 8. So yeah, we have a wheel vent. Alright, let's create a cursor for inside the game. It should... What should it look like? I don't think we want to go crazy on this. We should probably just... Let's just draw something real quick. Oh, what can we load? What format types? Heavy. We've been using GLTF to load model data. How do we load an image? Asset server assets. Asset loader. Let the load bytes. Let's go to the examples. How do we load? I mean, do we have to model a cursor? We could model a cursor. Move it around in 3D space. That'd be funny. It would work. Toss a shader on that, all that. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, it's been a long time. Cold Stone Man. I was looking at this and I'm like, I had no idea. It can be so. How do you go from Stone Cold Man to Shikharsh Harma. That is Shikhar Sharma? That is. I feel like I'm just not qualified to say that. Oh, you changed it. Oh, lovely. Do you think people on Twitch actually do that? Where they'll, like, take somebody else's. Well, I guess, there's name collisions all the time. How common is your name? This is for loading a custom asset. And you gotta help me pronounce this. So, you don't have any underscores in here. Oh, the theme. Uh-oh. Oh, we lost power the other day. Did the Pi come back on? This is a theme called Challenger Deep. Called my Raspberry Pi Bob. Oh, Bob is there. All right, here we go. Now we should have a theme. There you go. I'm also using Kitty, Kitty. It allows for the ligatures, so like a equal equal becomes like so, not equal, etc. It supports ligatures, which I really like for some reason. It reads so much better. Okay, so if this is like so, then we should be able to get rid of that. Let's put this here. Take that out. I'm gonna go into a keypad. Yes, the GitHub does have the dot files. They're recently up to date. I don't know how long ago I updated them, but they're not far off. I think they're like really, really close. Oh, and there's also pretty dot files. And commands. Got a list of them there. Okay, so this is the keypad. Now we could add input listener here in the keypad. Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. We could add a system in here. Then we could also try to track the input and highlight the different buttons based on that. I don't know if I like that. I think I would rather see this just, oh, sure. Take that off there, yeah. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. Ah, yes, the semicolon at the end. I like having the mouse cursor. But I don't want to have to track the mouse movement. I'd rather use the system mouse cursor when I'm using that. If that's not going to be possible, do we just use key entry? That could be possible. What else could we use? I'm trying to think of interesting ways of doing input on this across all platforms, because you get this on, let's say, a mobile device. You're going to have touch events, right? Now, how is this going to work? I feel like I should have a cursor, like an in-game cursor for this. Even though it probably lends itself to system cursor, but I can't track the system cursor. Let's see if we can track the system cursor. I'm gonna come back over here. Mouse position. Just under like system. Cursor position should be reset when exiting a window. I wonder if it's going to be on system or something like that. Get and set window position. Okay, I don't really care about the window position. I might in the future. Oh, and I'm only looking at open bugs. Let's look at closed issues. Mouse position. Closed. Mouse motion and cursor move has a subtle difference in position on Windows. Retracing and detecting cursor position. Implement mouse position query resource. This is what we want. Point and click. Yes. You can get the window mouse position through a mouse motion and event resource. So here we have struct. It's a component. Oh, I see. They're capturing the mouse motion, which has event position on it. I did not see that. Where's that? So this appears to have delta. Event opposition. Cursor position, event opposition. Where is this event opposition? Alright, they're also using this example input events. State is this input event state. Event reader, mouse motion. This seems old. Maybe it's not there anymore? Does this not work? Let's see if anything has position on it. Cursor moved. Maybe they renamed it to cursor moved instead of mouse moved. Steady, cursor left, cursor moved. Oh, interesting. So if it entered or left the window. All right, let's look at window here. Window created, window closed, window ID, window plugin. Wow, so much stuff. Alright, so cursor moved. Should be able to just get that. Is there a cursor position? No. Alright, so no resource for that. Let's go ahead and set up that resource. Where should we do that? Go back to main. So we'll give it a track cursor. Then we'll have our cursor event. What was that? Cursor moved? Ah, yes, cursor moved. Does this need to be input? Now we also need to have our mutable resource, so we need to add a resource here. I would like to keep all of these stuck into little plugins. Let's go ahead and make a plugin for this here. Cursor position. Maybe a vec 2. Cursor position. Also system on there. Okay. First position is going to be res mut. We don't have that resource registered yet, so we'll have to do that. How do we add a resource? What does this want? This wants something of type T. What is this resources? I see, so they're using type information to set this up. This doesn't have default on it. Oh, I don't have default. My mistake. I don't think we're gonna need really anything on this. Yeah, fields never read, that's fine. We read that resource, whatever its default is, so back to it's probably going to be 0, 0. Okay. So we have that. Now we have cursor position, res mute. Oh, now we need that input reader. Now why? I mean, could we just say cursor position? Position is equal to cursor move dot position. Can we just do that? Ah, what is onRes? What traits do they have for these? System param, dref. Oh, I see. So we can deref into input. Maybe it's not input what we want. Let's go look at the examples again. Search for cursor moved. Ah, here we go. Let's see, here they have the state as an event reader. So here they have events. Pun walks into a room with 10 people and kills all of them. Unintended. Oh. That's a good one. Commander Thrashin. Well done. Oh yes, and Happy New Year to you as well. Happy New Year's. Saw you stream the other day. Good to see you streaming again. New Year, new Emacs. So why are some of these event and some of these are input? It's just semantics here. Ooh. App pass events, huh? Oh, stuff got messed up. That's too bad. Yeah, I did that too this morning. Just before streaming, I did an update, and that was sketchy. Sometimes I'll do an update, like a homebrew update, and it goes poorly. Struct with a similar name exists. What? Cargo check. Saying. It's a similar name. Events, plural. Oh. All right, now we got the chat set up. Good. I mean, technically, for a position like this, we only want the last position. Hopefully, we don't have to iterate through everything to be able to get the last one. Iter. We should be able to just say last. I wonder, does this event, can we use the event reader directly for cursor moved? Let's see. I mean, this looks like a component. It has these entities. And then when we ask for this component, all right. Oh, I see. They're setting. They have a res to events of cursor moved. I don't know why I thought that this was part of state. Where are they using state? Ah, they're storing the state. Are they? What are they doing with state? Okay, this I didn't read through far enough. So they have this local state that they use a mouse button event reader on, which is an event reader. Oh, do they have like cursors and things for this? What is an event reader? Can you have multiple event readers? Yes, last event count. I see. I see. So we have to have something that tracks the last event that it went through. Okay. And what is local? It's interesting learning so much going through just these examples. Read only is fine. Oh, what? No, I don't really want to recover it. Thank you. Uh-oh, what I do? Go back. Local. Here we go. Local resources are unique per system. Okay. So it's a local is a resource, is a system resource. Well, I hadn't thought of that before, but you could register a system in two different places. That's interesting too. Okay. Yeah, let's pull this into some sort of cursor tracker. I want this to be a system resource. Okay, so we have cursor position. Okay, let's source cursor position dot rs. Back to main, take this, track cursor. That's heavy prelude on that. Now this needs to be public. Okay, now we also need a local. Why not just call it state? This is our event reader. What did they do? They had some cursor moved event reader. Yeah, sure. I don't want to call it moved. I'm going to call it just event reader. This whole plugin is very specific to this. All right, let's have our inputs and our outputs. The cursor position is going to be the input. No, the output. And the state's going to be the input. I'd rather call it input rather than state. State. And then state dot. Oh. Now this has an iterator. We should be able to call last on it. I see, so we have to give it both the events and then the event reader. Now that makes sense. Because one tracks, the other one's a stream. Alright, I'm gonna group those a different way now. It's our inputs and our output. Cursor position, add plugin. Oh no. Add plugin. That should be a expected value. Found struct. Does this have to obstruct? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I didn't save that file. Still doesn't like it. Let's get it working. State.position. No, not state.position, state.event reader. Looks like we can do that here. Retrieves the latest event. Nice. This here should return not a cursor moved events. Well, it should return one of those, which has a position on it. What doesn't it like about this? Default is not satisfied for state. There we go. Expecting the DRF doesn't work without the borrow. Oh, it's an option. Oh, okay. So we can do an if let sum on that. Really, it's an event. There we go. Expected value, found that. Obstruct. Maybe it doesn't like that I'm using it for two things. When I'm Alright, let's just create a struct. Pub struct plugin. Plugid. That's horrible. Okay. Oh, no, I had it. Hit the wrong button. Press the position plugin. Two, D. Okay. There we go. Practicing Vim. Always practicing Vim. Alright, so we've got that. Now what? Now we should be able to use the cursor position resource somewhere else. So this cursor position, we could go back into keypad, for example, and in the little system we set up in here, this thing. Instead of that, cursor position. But I didn't put debug on there. Cursor position plugin. There. All right. Let's see it run. That really is not very helpful. Let's go back into keypad and debug out position. Hey, morning, Vedsmocker. We are currently adding mouse inputs. I want to be able to react to things in the game. Ah, yes, here we go. Okay, that works. So in this case, I can use that. It's very precise. I did not expect it to be so precise. Like you can move sub-pixel. I wonder what their units are for this. It's interesting, it had negatives for a moment. I don't know if anybody caught that, but it did have a negative in there. Try to get the negative by moving the mouse off the window again. It's funny. Okay. All right. Well, that seems to be working. Now we need to be able to translate that into some of the sort of coordinate. Well, we need to be able to see if that is interacting with things. So now that we have the coordinates, we can check to see if the coordinates are above something else. Oh, there, it's negative again. I moved quickly and clicked outside the window. Huh. Interesting that it got that event. Yeah, we'll kill that. Morning, Museum. You're on board with puns. With that said, whiteboards are remarkable. Yes, yes, they are. I had a pretty bad one the other day. What was it? It was I'm trying to get my daughter to remember what the pun was that I said to her the other day. I actually came up with one. Oh yes, yes. Why does the Avatar: The Last Airbender have? Why is he always so busy? He has so many opportunities. Sorry, that's a really bad pun. It is bad. Oh, where is? There we go. Streaming. So at this point, we need to figure out what the screen coordinates are for something. So let's say we wanted to add something to the screen, and it's going to be fixed. Most of these elements are going to be fixed. Okay. So we have these elements. Well, we could set the camera up in orthographic mode. That would work here. And that would simplify the calculations we'd need to get the screen space coordinates. I wonder if they have a tool for that already. It's interesting. I found the issues to be rather helpful. Ray tracing support, yeah, that's basically it. Screen ray and two closed methods. Let's look at the closed ones first. Sprites disappearing. Camera helpers, yes. Oh, 615 should solve this. ray from mouse position. Oh, okay. It's the wrong window. Right, I want to see the PR. Like the file's changed. Physics. Oh, I see. This is for the Bevy Physics plugin. Okay. And that has intersecting ray. Simple intersecting ray for sphere. Array intersector. I could use physics for that, but it seems like hmm. Let's go back to the docs. I have try from Bevy ray. Because I don't have the physics bit downloaded, it's not going to show the docs on that. Well, that's unfortunate. It looks like they have a physics example. Add system raycast. Where are they getting raycast? Oh, this is still open. Oh, mistake. For some reason I don't want. I would rather use a different system for this and not raycasting. I think there should be a simple way to do this. Let's see, so if we had our triangles, we had our meshes, we had a bounding box for the mesh, tried to capture that into screen space coordinates as opposed to 3D coordinates. Gonna look at the pull requests again, or issues. Schedule V2? What? Namespace. I guess we could get the outer edge of a piece. Seems like that might be rather expensive though. Why don't I just create bounding boxes? Yeah, we could do that. What do we draw on the glass? So we look at Bevy UI for that. All right, live. We got widgets and things and bears. Oh my. Interesting, the stages. I hadn't looked into this before. That's neat. Sure. An image, why not? Materials, textures. I'll have to think on this a bit. Yeah, that's possible, but don't know that I want to do it that way. Let's take a peek at the shaders. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not familiar with this syntax. Yeah, I don't want to do it as a shader. I want to do it as a control. Alright, let's go look at the orthographic cameras. There we go. If we don't do that, and if instead we went with the perspective projection, we have to figure out where in space to put our elements so that they map correctly. Field view aspect ratio, yes. Near and far. Okay, this is just clipping for near and far. Can we have two cameras rendering at the same time? Can we have... Oh, that could be cool. Can we have two cameras with a specific background color that gets clipped out? We have like a 3D space environment with controls on top of it. The control is done using an ortho camera, the other one using a perspective projection. And we render to a texture. So that's what I'm thinking. Camera, texture. Closed issues. Rendering text, okay, yes. multiple cameras? Cameras?
It's been 7 more years that have passed since we've been gone. New frontier with no fear, we remember who we are. And we eye new skies with distant suns, wait for new Elysium. No more hell in that cell, no breaking out tonight.
All right, let's just go ahead and use that other plugin. Was it crates.io? I think it's Bevy mod picking. Or we could look under the covers and see how this works. I know we did that last time. Let's look again. C8 Raycast. Lib, they're using many things. Picking plugin. Build bounding sphere. Build array, pick mesh. And I really didn't want to use this, but wait, where was their bounding? There it is. Bounding volume. Bounding sphere. That's interesting. I think it meshes here. Resource, assets, mesh. Is that what it's going to do here? I mean, this here is going to be in the static, in the, I guess, strings portion of the binary, the data section, right? It's not going to allocate unless you hit Warren. Oh, okay, or let me see. Oh, was that in Raycast? Huh. An intersection. Oh, I see. Well, let's try it out. Heavy mod picking. Oh. Let's do it the fun way. Yay. Alright. Does Bevy mod picking work with what up 4? With a graphic projection support. Oh, interesting. Add topmost. Interesting. Oops. Wanted to look at those examples. Selection state management. That's interesting. I don't think I want to use this for state management on the meshes. It's interesting that it's possible though. Oh, could be useful. Oh, nice. They have a little debugger. All right. Yeah. Okay, let's play with this. Keypad. This is actually building. Get status. Get add dot. You know what? I need system source set. Create a new project. It's gonna be a private project. Sorry. Cargo. No. Control. Source code and repository. Get repo. Let's go to the repo. Ooh, I don't want everything. Oh. What do I have in .cargo? Oh, the fast compile stuff. So we're using the Mac one, which has the shared generics. Now, I wonder what shared generics actually does. Like, what does it do to the produced binary? Oh, sure. Thank you. Let's see, what's in assets? We're going to add the... Oh, we should clean this up. Okay, so the one that we're really using is control.blend. I should... Oh, share generics. See that? I only saw share generics, monomorphize across CGUs. Oh, share generics monomorphizes across CGUs. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So let's say you were implementing a trait and it was exactly the same code, but you were doing it across different CGUs. Makes a temporary CGU with all the monos in it, mono impulse in it. I see. Now, how does that make it faster? I imagine they did that because it makes it quicker to build. Is that because there's less to link? Oh, okay, yep. Linker has less work to do. Got it. What are we going to add now? Button back. We don't want the blend stuff. Actually, we want the GLTF stuff. I think the rest of them, like Suzanne, we can get rid of. Suzanne was my test. Startup blend one, yeah, status. All right. The reason that there was such a mess in there is because I didn't have a good way of organizing these pieces. Control that blend, which seems really large for what it is. What is this? Let's open control.blend again. We've got a couple buttons, like hardly anything in here. Can't be that big. File, clean up. Sure, purge all. File, save. We got rid of 32 bytes. And what else is in here? Can't be that much point data. like a minimum size for Blender files. For whatever reason, they just want to have this huge. Sorry, it just struck me as being very large for what it is. Because I've got these two elements. This one, which has a very funny shape to it now. Don't know what happened. I mean, it's just supposed to be a plane. Yeah, something happened. Oh well. I'm just surprised. Hit ignore. Let's see. Assets, star dot, blend one. All right, so now we have that. Get. Oops. Yes, please. What? Origin master. Didn't we add that? Copy that. Git remote add. Oops. Master already exists. Fetch master. Fine. Git push master. Oh, shoot. I named it master, not origin. Thank you. There we go. Now I gotta clean up that. Okay. Get remote, rename old name. Oh, okay. I don't do that much with remotes. I mean, usually I'm just tracking like one or two repos. That's good to know. Nice. All right. How do we render text? string font. We have to load a font. Right from bytes. Okay, outlined glyph texture. Yeah, that's interesting. Font Atlas debug. Okay. Okay, so here we have a text bundle. Loading a TrueType font, interesting. Is this on screen? Is this rendering it to the, I guess what I call glass? Oh, it's a 2D bundle, yeah. Okay. That's for the breakout game though. And if I want text in the 3D space, maybe I could look for a resource being added that's a font or something. First column is the remote name, second the URI, third is method. You can have one read-only remote for fetching and another for writing. Oh, interesting. Makes sense. That's cool. Morning. Ramic W and Xenagron, how are you? Oh, look, we can also change the title of our window. Let's do that real quick. Is this just a regular system? And system, change title. Oh, you can change it on every tick. Oh, wow. No, we don't want to do that. Add a startup system or something. That's cool. Main. Today I'm good with mic. Yeah, I've got my Jabra headset on. I'm actually using Crisp today. Oh, I saw that with the move and ref buy pattern at the same time. You can use that in destructuring. I saw. Can you use that elsewhere? I mean, it must be destructure, like anywhere you can destructure. That's cool. Hey, Rami, so I'm not actually using Windows. I don't know what I would use to run the vim on Windows.
What are these stages? System. Oh, actually, I do. My kid is running Alacrity, I think. No. Just the regular terminal command. Oh, I see, but CMD doesn't do colors correctly. Have I watched that video for Godot? I don't know. No, I haven't seen that one. Are good bits in it? Atoll, ITL. Okay, now what do we get? We don't want the time resource. We just want the Windows resource. Oh, because you can have multiple windows. Interesting. Complicated, but interesting. Then you get the primary window. Unwrap that. Is it possible that it doesn't have a primary window? I guess if it's headless. I think there's a headless option for this. Seconds in startup. Yep. Okay. You see the Windows, Resmute, Windows, get primary window. Oh, wrong place. Windows equal to Windows. Set title. Oh, you can set vsync decoration. Yeah, we were looking at some of this earlier. I see, maybe it's full screen, etc. Set title. Control. Well, let's check. Increment on flip? No, it doesn't look like it. Let's check. I'd be slightly old on this. Let that index. It does for some things. I'm just not sure why it didn't show up for that one. Yes, tilde one's here. Yep, it's not gonna bite. Oh, on a type that it knows. I see. So instead, if I did Windows, get primary mute dot if. Oh yeah, if L. Huh. Oh wow. Very nice. Very nice. I don't remember what my default expand is. I had to go down to it to get to it. Just title one. String. I found myself doing this on a string, just calling .into, but it doesn't feel right. Seems like you often want something a little bit more descriptive. Got two string on it? Oh, that's true. That's pretty descriptive as well. That's funny. This always feels odd on a string like this. I mean, this is taking a string, and the only reason that I have to add toOwned is because that, changes it to a string. I know that toOwned actually converts it to a string, but it takes ownership of it, but it doesn't feel as descriptive as toString, which is basically encoding the type information here as opposed to the ownership information. I don't know, it seems like they're saying two different things. Right? One is saying that, hey, this is owned and it happens to be a string now. And the other one is saying that, hey, this is now a string. Or just the way it reads. Oh, I see what you're saying. In that, really, it's just a different. It's the same type. It's just represented differently. Yeah, I see that. All right, so there we go. We got that. You can just use format control. Let's see if the title is correct now. About a little, it's like 5 inches tall, little Spy Hunter arcade game from some big box store. Kids playing it. We're gonna get muted from the Spy Hunter. What is that? Peter Gunn. It's the name of the Spy Hunter music. Did I change that? I don't remember changing this. Is this using Bevy twice? Once for my import and once for the Bevy mod, whatever it was, the mod touch, mod picking. You do into our toString because treat str and string differently. I primarily use into. So lets me change the oh, it's RC or Boxster. Huh. Yeah, I tend to think about the type bits. Type bits tend to be a little bit. I don't know. They're different in my mind, but it's interesting because you're right. This does treat the two things differently. And at that point, like with that code there, I mean, you already have ownership of this, right? It's there. It's done. And to say toOwned on it happens to kind of reiterate the same thing, which is why do like string from or toString first. I'm thinking about the types more than the ownership because it felt like intuitively I already had that. That is absolutely true. Oh, bravo, bravo. Don't let the user have to debate it. Make it the most flexible. Yeah, I wonder why. Why did they do that way? I mean, they're calling toString on it anyways. Why are they calling two string? They already have a string. But I mean, here it's taking ownership of the string, isn't it? Is it not? Which means it was probably, oh, I see. It's probably borrowing it, and then they did a two string on it. The clones might have been at least as Refster. That's funny. And then if you want to get the title, getting a stir or a Refster. And what do they store this as? Let's go take a peek. I mean, it looks like it just be a string. Yeah. Now, I wonder, would the impl into string increase the compile times for this? Now, going back to the owned versus the type Tetris versus ownership, if this control here, this, if we pull that out, right, that's a stir, a rough stir. Now, this is because this is stored in the data portion of the binary, and it lives outside the life of the program's lifetime, right? And so then if you wanted to take ownership of it or clone it, basically you're calling .toString on it or .to to owned. The static's deleted? Okay. That makes sense. Oh, yep, and at the very top of that, the control name is up there now. That's cool. How do I like it? I find it lacking documentation. There's a lot of good examples. For any lifetime event. Must be a set. Oh, I see. Interesting that anywhere that you can take a ref stir, you can take a ref static stir. Because I guess that's just a lifetime, right? Static is just a lifetime. Happens to be a special lifetime, but that's a good question. Is the static lifetime a special lifetime according to the compiler, or is it just a named lifetime that the compiler happens to provide? It's in the root of it. That's kind of the same thing. It is special. Okay. It's just a reserved name lifetime. Okay, I think that's what I was curious about. All right, let's close that one. For lifetime, T-statics is different, of course. Yes. Right, because that refers to ownership, right? Must be owned. Amusing. You still doing C++ day to day? Got compiler traits those two. Same language has a different notion of them. Yes. That makes sense. Still C++, quarterly performance reviews. Oh, brutal. Do you guys do 360s? Oh man, the other day, I don't know, I saw the was it it was oh, Carl Lurch. It's Carl. Carl had posted on a Reddit forum about AWS, Amazon, pulling in more C++ devs. It's like, you know what? That seems like it'd be I guess my dream gig. I'm really happy with where I am, but my dream gig would be doing Rust full time. I'd love to do Rust full time. And it seems like the market's still growing up, but there's more and more. Wasting so much time in remote meetings and doing so many CC emails. I've been a remote worker since before it was cool. Actually, just 6 years now. It's been good. What's the $0 on my status bar? Status bar. Oh, here. Oh, I don't know. I think it's probably a config setting that I never bothered to set up properly. Um, with everybody being working from home, everything's so different. Yeah. Our group's been pretty cool about it. Everybody working from home. I mean, to begin with, I think we had like 20 to 30% of our devs working from home starting out. So it wasn't a huge change. We had all of the infrastructure already set up. So it's fine. Do I have difficulties to really focus when working from home? I've got a bunch of kids, and I don't think so. With kids and family, yeah, that's a difficult thing for a lot of people to get used to. And for me, I have a space where I can work, and mentally, I have a kind of a little routine. Right now, I'm actually sitting at the kitchen table, which you get a little background noise at the moment, and some of that, like if you use Crisp, Crisp can help out a lot if you think like, hey, I've got a lot of annoying background noise, or stuff like Crisp, right? Um, if you don't know what that is, like if you have issues with background noise, that's one thing. If you have issues with not having like a space where you can mentally disconnect, for me, that is a big one, right? Have a place where you do work, right? And when you're not working, don't be in that space. It can be tough if like it's um, depending on how much space you have, it can be really tough. But it could be, something subtle or simple. If you have issues with other people's background noises, you can still use Crisp to limit noise in speakers sound. So incoming noise, you can use Crisp on that as well. I actually have Crisp. Here, I can show you. Crisp.ai, and it does a fairly good job. It's not the solution, it's a solution. Here, oh, you know what? Here, copy this. If anybody does sign up for it, use that. They'll give me like a month or whatever for free. But it's kind of interesting in that they've trained an AI model. They actually upsample your voice data or your audio input, and that they will clean up your audio stream, and it produces a clearer, crisper sound. Here, if I turn Crisp off for a moment, now this is without Crisp, okay? And I don't know if you can notice a sound difference. I don't know. Hey, you kids in the background, make a little noise. Just no, don't yell, but just yeah. You can probably hear them as the audio is cutting in and out as I'm speaking. And then if I turn this on, yeah, they said hello back. Yes. And now keep going. Okay, they're still making noise in the background, but here there's likely less noise on that. And I can even do that. I can perform the same effect for my speakers. So if somebody else isn't using this, I can use this on their audio stream. So basically anything that's coming out of my speaker at the moment. It's really good for meetings. I've actually used that because I've had places where like my boss was like in like a Starbucks in Construction City, and you just flip that on and you can hear him again, right? And that's very useful. Or somebody's just naturally a very quiet speaker. It works out pretty well. So Try to go back to like the out of the account stuff. I don't know where that is. Oh, here, my daughter's making some sounds here. She's just making sound. She's like la 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 la. Keep going, don't stop. Let's see how long she can do it. Okay. You can probably hear her. And then if I click this on, yeah, and she's getting close. Yeah, she's playing with it now. Okay, thank you. You can stop now. Thank you. All right. Oh, you wonder how it compares to NVIDIA's noise cancellation? Um, I don't know how it compares, but NVIDIA's noise cancellation requires that you have one of their newer cards. So you can't actually use it if you don't have one of their newer cards. So there's kind of one versus the other. I think corporations can also call them, and if it's an issue or whatever, I'm sure that they can fix it. I saw that Discord embeds Crisp. I don't know how much money Crisp is getting from Discord, but that's an interesting sort of thing. I don't know if it's like an advertising thing or what, but it's pretty neat. Kids love making noise, yes. The other thing that I found working from home, having some sort of routine, right? I do such and such before I work. I do such and such after I work. And having those common things to help you disconnect from work helps. It could even be that you have certain headset for work and a different headset elsewise, right? Like something that can mentally reinforce that I'm working or I'm not working, right? Trick your brain. Gotta reprogram yourself, you know? Okay, so we got that on there. Good.
We've been breaking ground. We fought for the weak and the lost. They won't break us down. We hold the line.
Sorry, Quan, what was the subject there? What is what? I might have missed it.
Our history's a blister that's about to be burst. There's so little hope on this path we pursue.
Oh, asking Xenocron, yes. Yeah, there's a number of things that do something similar to Crisp. Crisp is the one that I found for the Mac. That's what I tend to use. I actually did a search again this morning for one. Well, I should probably go grab some lunch. I should probably raid someone. You guys, while we're doing this, you guys have any working from home tips and tricks? Raid Lime Dye. Pipewire. Oh, interesting. I think for me, having the space, having some way for them to know that I'm working versus streaming is useful. Be it a light bulb that you turn on and off or something, headset that you put on and off. That's helpful to them, right? Manage for them via something visual. Something's really important. Sometimes you gotta lock the door. And my daughter just said that she misses it when I use the I have a little red light on my Jabra headset to let them know that I'm busy or not busy, and I've fallen out of the habit of using that during meetings. That'd be a good thing to do. On air sign, yes. Actually, I had a friend wire one up outside his office. He had an office. It's a room he took over in his home. Looks like the raid's gonna happen. So y'all take care. Until next time. Bye bye.